Hey everybody, Anthony from ComicsEatingUp.net. I'm doing my end of the year / beginning of the year pickup. I haven't run one of these videos in a while, and I've amassed a lot of books. A lot of Silver Age, a lot of Bronze Age, some slabs, some keys, and some personal grails. So I'm going to get things started off. These are all dollar books. I'm going to start with these 2-3 piles here that are all dollar books. Most of them are Silver Age. Late Silver Age, some of them are Bronze Age, but at $1 a piece, and some of which actually were about 75 cents a piece. I just can't pass up like 15-cent, 12-cent books. So we'll start off with Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane. That is issue 104. It's not in the best shape, but again, 75 cents for this book. It was 27 books for $27, and then the guy threw in a bunch of additional books, so I picked it up. A lot of these in this stack are Superman related. This is Superboy number 168. Again, 75 cents for a DC 15 center. This is Superboy 169. Again, 75 cents. Action Comics 391 with both Superboy and Superman on it. Again, 15 center for 75 cents. Action Comics number 394. Action Comics number 378. Again, all day, I'm not going to pass up 15 or 12-cent books for $1 or less. This was one of the ones that he threw in. It is Action Comics 423. We've got Adventure Comics number 368. Giant Size Superman, this is number 239. And then getting away from the Superman books, we get into Black Hawk. This is Black Hawk 211. Number 230. These have some really cool covers. These were the throw-ins. 246 because I was buying the 12 centers. He threw in the 20, 25 centers, 30 centers as well. Just to, I guess, get rid of them. This is Black Hawk 242. 2 copies of 248. Again, these were kind of giveaways. Black Hawk 249. And that's Black Hawk 250. So I have a nice little run. There's actually 2 copies of 250. Getting back into the Superman stuff. World's Finest 196. And then these are cool. I mean, it's a 10-cent DC for 75 cents. Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen 45. That's from 1960. At this point, it's 65 years old. Let's see. Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen 92. Jimmy Olsen 94. I've been finding a lot of Jimmy Olsens for like under $1 lately. 100. This one's definitely not in the best shape, but still cool. It's I've got a lot of reads ahead of me. Number 111. That one's kind of fun. Ugly Superman versus Elastic Lad. Number 112. Number 130. And number 136, that rounds out the Jimmy Olsen books. This one I couldn't pass up for 75 cents. Not the best condition, but still really cool. From Beyond the Unknown, number 1. Late Silver, Bronze Age horror book, sci-fi book from DC. Still really cool. Could not pass that up. This is some interesting stuff and more modern. This is Beetle Bailey 33. It is a complimentary copy. It's from like Muscular Dystrophy or something. But a promo copy of a Beetle Bailey book. 75 cents. I'm not passing it up. This is a more modern one. Poison, Lost Child number 1, Necro Nude. Obviously the cover's not shown, but 75 cents. I'm grabbing stuff out of this guy's dollar or less bins. Battle Chasers number 11. This is a more recent one. I don't have this cover. I love Battle Chasers. And so I grabbed that. This one's from ARH Comics, which they've got some really cool books. This is Undying Queen number 1. I don't have this, so to kind of round out my ARH collection, I grabbed it. I don't know why I got this one. It is Venom number 26, the first appearance of Virus. I think that's what his name was. Who amounted to nothing, but, you know, whatever. And then these were 2 for $1. Strange Tales #1 and Strange Tales #2. I like the Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night, so anytime they put out the Strange Tales books, these are from '96, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and grab them, especially for 50 cents a piece. Well worth the read at that price. Fighting Marines, this is number 136. It's a great cover. It's not in the best shape, again, but I mean, we're talking 75-cent dollar books. That's a really cool cover. It looks like Black Widow almost. That guy's helmet is huge. His face is tiny in that helmet. Well, I'll leave that be. Hey, 15-cent the Archies. These were, I think, like 50 cents. Betty and Veronica, number 186. Again, pretty much anything for 15 or 12 cents, under $1, I like to grab. This is Laugh number 245. You know, you never know when you're going to find one of those innuendo covers, but, you know, you keep looking. Some Gold Key stuff here. This is Super Goof. I don't know the number on this one. I know I don't have that one. But again, I like books that are, like, related to other media, and there's more in here that you'll see later. More Gold Key. Gomer Pyle USMC. Not sure of what number is. I have to look it up. This is a cool one. Popeye the Sailor Man number 82, King Features. This is 12-cent book. Like, I'm not passing up a 12-center. Not for $1. The Parent Trap, I think that's Dell Movie Classics. I don't know the number, 1210, I think. And then Pollyanna, number, I don't know, it's that Dell Movie Classics 1129. Still a 10-center. I'm not passing it up. Another Dell. Ghost Stories, that's the one problem with Dell. It's so hard to find the issue number. You have to look inside. But that's a great cover. Just a fantastic cover. Again, not the best shape, but still really cool to have. And again, Jungle War Stories. Do like war books. They're kind of cool. I have several war books in here. Moving into Gold Key. Walt Disney, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Junior Woodchucks. I believe that's number 1. I have to double check. I think that was, like, it's definitely an early issue, not that there was many issues. And also Ripley's Believe It or Not, True Ghost Stories. And then we have Grimm's Ghost Stories. Still really cool. A little piratey. I don't know. There's like a pirate gangster on it. I thought it was kind of funny. This one was a fun read, I'm not going to lie. I've already read it. It's the brand new Microbots number 1. I don't know how long this series lasted, but again, Dell 15 Center. Well, this is a cool one for $1. Very popular. Dave Stevens cover. Rocketeer Adventure Magazine number 1. Oop, back into Superman stuff. Superboy number 167. This must have got mixed in somewhere. Just a random Marvel. Tomb of Dracula 39. I like this one. This one's cool. Plastic Man number 7. Jimmy Olsen 96. Strange Tales featuring Brother Voodoo 171. Marvel Premiere featuring Iron Fist number 18. Now, these weren't $1, but I did pay up on these. These are those movie and TV related books that I really like to collect. And I do a good job of selling these online. You know, these kind of media related books. Switch that around. We'll start with Terminator Hunter and Killers number 1. That's a good story. That was a good book. I'd never seen this one before. It's Planet of the Apes number 1. It is Revolution on the Planet of the Apes. From Mr. Comics. They're a Canadian comic company. Never heard of them, but they put out a Planet of the Apes series, which I didn't have. I have a lot of Planet of the Apes books. Didn't have that series, so I picked up the number 1. And Jurassic Park number 4. I think this might actually complete my collection of the original Jurassic Park adaptation. And with the new movie coming out, or the whatever they're doing, it's a good time to pick up Jurassic Park books, I think. Another movie-related series, Nightbreed. I picked up 1, 2, and 3. Picked up all 3. this Epic series went on for a while. I have the entire Boom series. I don't have the Epic series, which I kind of regret not getting, and now I'm starting to pick them up. And the last book in that stack is Liberty Comics #2 with the Tim Sale cover. There's a Paul Pope story in here that I hadn't read. So, again, picking that one up. The next batch of books starts out with some Atlas books. It's kind of cool. I've been seeing a lot of Atlas books lately, especially in dollar bins, or dollar bin and under, to be honest with you, 50-cent bins. So I got Vicky #1, kind of a Archie spoof, or, their version of an Archie book. This is Scorpion #3. John Target Manstalker #2. The Brute #2. Grim Ghost #1. They're relaunching that series, I know. Grim Ghost #3. The Destructor #2. The Destructor #3. And the Destructor #4. Now, these were purchased, all these Atlas were purchased at two different stores in their dollar bins. So it was cool. I was like on an Atlas run where I was pretty much finding everything. Now, this next one's not a dollar book, but it's a book that I've kind of been looking for a long time. I talked about this one on the forum. It's probably Marvel's greatest musical flop. I'll get into the story. But this is Nightcat #1. It's got that great Joe Jusko cover. The costume, the character design was actually done by Jim Lee. So Stan Lee wanted to do a real-world superhero, and he got a singer to be the model for the comic. She released an album under Nightcat, and it flopped. It was terrible. It was probably one of the worst albums ever, and it's just a cool piece of comic history. The next one I'm getting into magazines now. We're getting close to the end of the stack. Got some slabs coming up that I'll talk about as well. These were dollar magazines. Any Warren magazine I can find for $1 that I don't already have, I'm grabbing. So the Rook #2 and the Rook #3. And I actually already had this one, but I couldn't pass it up. It was in really great shape. Erie #15, $1. I'm grabbing that all day. All right, so that ends kind of that run of dollar books. These ones I actually paid up on. I've kind of knocked out the whole series here. Start with Web of Horrors. Now, this is a 3-issue series. This is #1. It's like, what is it? 1969, 1968 horror series. Very happy to grab that. So I got the entire run. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of them came from my comic shop. Sorry, that's #2. That's #3. All 3 of them came from my comic shop. That was part of my beginning of the year. I had posted on the forum that I had a bunch of credit to my comic shop and was looking to use it, and I did. And so that's the first thing out of it. And then also out of it was Elvira Magazine #1. I think this, Elvira Mistress of the Dark #1. I think this reprints the movie adaptation, which is really cool. All right, so before I get into the slabs, I'm going to show off a couple of books. One of these is actually a grail of mine. It's something that I've wanted for the longest time, and I got it. So first up is Frankenstein #2. Dell did a release of Frankenstein, the movie adaptation, for #1, and then #2 they switched it over to a superhero book. So it's a goofy superhero book. The second one is a personal grail. It's Dracula #2. So again, same thing. #1 was a movie adaptation. #2 was a superhero. So I've wanted this for so long. I don't know why. It's just a goofy book, but I've wanted it for so long, and now I finally have it. That's part of my big beginning of the year purchase. Green Lantern #15. I'm trying to get this entire run. It's got that nice Sinestro cover. I don't know why, but it was just like, this is one of the books that I've been hung up on buying Silver Age copies of. The next two I actually have wanted for a long time. This finishes up a run of The Walking Dead for me. Not The Walking Dead you're probably thinking of, but the Air Cell series. So I've got Walking Dead #1, which is one of the 2 books I was missing, and Walking Dead #3. It's a really kind of hokey 80s zombie series, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm so happy to finally have this. The collection on those are complete. All right, finishing up, I know this has been a long video, but these are the slabs I got. First up, this one has nothing to do with the rest of those year-end purchases, but this was a local purchase. Normally, I wouldn't buy a 4.0 graded book, but this is, well, I mean, it's a signed Milo Manara book. It was $40. I couldn't pass it up. I mean, he doesn't come to the United States enough that I know of that I would be able to get his signature any other time. So for $40, I picked it up. Right, this next one is another grail of mine. I mean, I've been wanting it for a long time, and it actually finishes out the run. It's the hardest book in this series to get, and it's Fright #3. This is CGC 8.5. First appearance of Freddy Krueger on a comic book. He doesn't appear in the comic book, but he does appear on the comic book. So this is a personal grail of mine, and it finishes out the run. I have the rest of the series minus this one, and now I have it in 8.5. Now these I do buy lower grades on just because they're hard to come by. Pre-code horror in general is something I absolutely love. And this is Black Cat Comics #49. It's not one of the most iconic covers, but it's a cool, it's a definitely cool Lee Elias cover. The rats are eating the guy on the cover. And so that was part of my big beginning of the year purchase. And next one up is Batman #80. I mean, it is, what, 1954? So right there at the tail end of the Golden Age. I've been collecting Batman slabs now. Whatever grade I can get pre-issue 100, actually 200 and below now. Whatever I can find, whatever grade, I'm stacking these. I mean, 70-year-old books at this point. I'm just grabbing and holding as many of them as I can. You find them really, really cheap, which is just amazing. I mean, really cheap. Last two are $5 slabs that I got from Skybound for $5 for a slab. I can get $10 for it, I guarantee it. $10 in trade even. This is Walking Dead Deluxe #12. It is the Comic Vault Live Gold variant, but again, $5. And Ninjago #1. I am not. What's it? Garmadon, Ninjago Garmadon #1 for $5. I guarantee I can get $10 for it anything. I mean, that's not a problem. So that's it. That's the massive amount of stuff that I've been sitting here kind of collecting for the past 2 months, or since I've done the last video, and I always feel like I don't have enough stuff to do a full video on, and now I had too much. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.